Hello to you and welcome to the Ingles table. My name is Mark Keady. You may know me from a couple of television programs I host right here in Asheville, North Carolina, but I'm also an actor, a runner, a foodie, but most importantly, I'm a stay-at-home dad of 2 young girls. That means I'm busy, just like many parents, so today on the Ingles table, we're going to make some recipes that require few ingredients that are simple to make and your family will enjoy. Today, thanks to Ingles, I'm going to cook with you. I'm going to show you how to bring some of my favorite dishes to your kitchen table. We're starting out at Ingles getting the ingredients to make my chicken mark. It's a dish my wife actually named after me, but for posterity purposes, we'll call it chicken mark with spinach and goat cheese. For a full list of all the ingredients for chicken mark with goat cheese and spinach, check out the full shopping list right underneath this video. You can print a list, take it with you, pull it up on your phone when you're at the store. Now, let's get cooking. We just got back from Ingles with all the ingredients to make my chicken mark. This is a dish my wife coined several years ago, before we had kids actually. She just thought that it was the most amazing thing I ever created, and she just thought it was nice to name it after me. But this is a great dish because if you're like me, a lot of times you're thinking of what's your entree for tonight, and when you think chicken, you're like, chicken again. But this is a great way with just some spinach and some goat cheese and a little marinade to dress up your chicken and make a meal that your family is gonna love. Let's get started. First, from Ingles, we've got these wonderful fresh chicken breasts. This is amazing Tyson chicken. They have no antibiotics in them as well. These are fantastic to use, and 3 breasts we're gonna end up splitting, and they're gonna be able to feed 3 or 4 people. This is a nice, about 2.5 pounds of chicken. We also have a bag of fresh spinach from the Ingles produce department, fresh goat cheese from the Ingles deli, and this right here, the secret ingredient, the McCormick Grill Mace. You can buy these marinade packets in the dry pack, which will add our oil and our water and our vinegar to, or you can buy them already pre-made. Either way, they're a great affordable way to dress up any of your favorite meats. Now, let's jump into chicken mark. The first thing we're gonna do is take our chicken breasts and we're gonna butterfly them and pound them flat. So we're gonna get a lot of chicken out of these thick, juicy breasts. One of the rules of pounding your chicken flat, now you can use a rolling pin for this. If you don't have a mallet, you can go out to the garage and find a rubber mallet. Just don't tell anybody that it was used on chicken, but make sure you cover up your chicken with plastic, because when you hit that thing, you may not see the chicken juices flying, but they are gonna be flying. So we got this big bad boy right here. The reason why we're gonna do this is because we're gonna stuff this chicken with spinach and goat cheese, and then we're gonna wrap them up into nice little balls. So we're gonna do this to all of our chicken breasts, 2 or 3 chicken breasts. We're gonna pound them flat, and we're gonna get ready to stuff them. We've got all of our chicken breasts pounded out. They are very flat and they're gonna be easy to roll. It's time to get them marinated. Now when you do your marinades, you can put it in a bowl, any kind of meat with your marinade, and cover it up and put it in the refrigerator. But for me, I like to keep it simple. I like to use a Ziploc bag and just dump the marinade right in. So we'll take our McCormick Grill Mate. This is my favorite one for this, and this is the must-have for this recipe. So it is in the ingredients list down below, but it is the garlic, herb, and wine. I had to look at it, I was like, garlic, wine, and herb, because that would be much more beneficial. I like garlic, herb, and wine, whatever you choose. Garlic, herb, and wine, we're gonna throw in a 1/4 cup of water. We're gonna throw in a 1/4 cup of oil. And the last thing we need for this is a little bit of vinegar. You can use white vinegar, you can use apple cider vinegar, but we're gonna run 1 table of Laura Lynn apple cider vinegar right in there. The other great thing about it is you don't have to use a spoon or anything. You can just mix it up with your hands right here in the bag, and ta-da, marinade just like that. That didn't take long at all. So at this point, we're gonna take our chicken breasts, they're flat, we're gonna toss them right into our Ziploc bag. Then the big key to marinating in a Ziploc bag though is get all of the air out of the bag, no air. So just push that up, you can mix it around a little bit, and we're just gonna pop this into the fridge for about 30 minutes. So this is something you can do, you know, in the afternoon or even maybe in the morning and let it marinate all day. Well, we've let our chickens marinate in the fridge for at least a half an hour. About 30 minutes was just good enough in the garlic, herb, and wine sauce to get them nice and flavorful. So we're gonna take our first one and lay it out. But before we do, I forgot one important thing. Lay your twine out first. If you have some cooking twine, this is very useful. If you don't, a little trick, dental floss. You can use some plain old dental floss and that'll do the trick. So look how beautiful that is. It's marinated, it's been sitting in the fridge for about a half an hour. Those flavors have really soaked in there, and now it's time to add the special things that make a chicken mark. We have 8 ounces of goat cheese right here from the Ingles Deli, and we're gonna use all of this. Now, if you don't think you're gonna use all of this in your dinner, then you know what? Cut some off, use your knife, but I'm just gonna use my fingers. So we're just gonna lay that goat cheese right in there. Now, I want to tell you that when you bake these in the oven, that goat cheese is going to ooze out a little bit, and that is fine because you can pick that up and you can just put that right back on the dish when you plate it. So we'll take some fresh spinach leaves. No need to wilt this because, of course, it will wilt in the oven. And now here comes the tricky part. This is fun. This might take a little bit of practice, but once you get to it, it's going to be good. You just roll the chicken. And you can see that even with this one, got a little bit of goat cheese sticking out there. But the fact that we put our twine on first has given us a little bit of an advantage. So at this point, we've got it rolled up. We're just going to tie this very tight. We want the spinach to make sure we stay in, and we want the whole thing to be just a nice little package. And there's nothing wrong with this. This is all good stuff right here. Spinach, fresh goat cheese, fresh chicken breasts. No poison in that. Right there, we've got a beautiful chicken mark ready to put on the grill. We're going to wrap the rest of these up, and then we're going to throw them right here on the skillet. So we've got all of our chicken stuffed with goat cheese and spinach, and we've tied them off with a cooking twine. One of them was a little rough. We put a twine on lengthwise just to kind of package it up. And just to check our temperature on our skillet here, we're really hot. I like to sear things hot. That's the whole point of searing. We're not trying to fancy around here. We just take these, drop them right on there. That's the sound you're looking for when you sear meat. We don't expect them to completely finish cooking, but the idea is that it's hot enough and you have enough oil or whatever fat you want to use in your pan. I just use the regular cooking oil here. You can use butter, you can use olive oil, but that may start to smoke at this kind of temperature. Safflower oil, whatever you like. If that's the sound you want, you need to see it getting busy. We're not going to fully cook the chicken in this pan. We're going to transfer it to a dish and finish them off in the oven, but we want to get that golden brown coat all over our chicken because that's what's going to create that great look when we're done. And it might give us a chance to deglaze the pan after the chicken's come out to add a nice little sauce on the backside. And so as we sear these, the trick to knowing that you're doing a good job is that the meat comes right off the pan. You shouldn't have any kind of sticking like that. That's how you know your pan's hot enough. So we just kind of turn all of our chicken marks on their sides. We're going to get all four sides covered. At least top and bottom, if you want to. That's probably a good start. When it's all said and done in the oven, we're going to cut that twine off and we're going to have a nice chicken dish to put on our plate. We've been letting our chicken sear in the cast iron skillet under a little bit of oil for probably about 4 to 5 minutes, just continually turning them and getting a nice brown coat. I think I've done a good job of cooking the twine as well. Should probably cut that sometime. Just a little tip. But either way, they look absolutely beautiful. And really, you could finish them right here in the skillet. It's going to take a little bit longer, maybe another 10 minutes to cook, and you're going to have to constantly turn them. So if you don't want to babysit it, you can finish them like I do, and that is just dropping them in a 400-degree oven. So we're going to pull this right out of the skillet, and we're just going to line them up in here, make them look really good. This was the one we had some problems with, and look how nice it turned out once we had it tied. And everything is perfectly seared, and we'll put that guy in the middle. And then this is our prized possession right there. Look at that third one. We've been able to cram 3 in the pan, and that's okay. All we want is the heat. We don't need a lot of room for cooking. We're going to cover this, and we're just going to put it in a 400-degree oven for about 20 minutes and watch the temperature on the meat. So after about 20 minutes, we've checked our chicken, and it looks like everything is up to temperature. 160 degrees is what we're looking for. And let's get a beautiful look at what's come out. Look at these beautiful chicken breasts. These are going to be so beautiful as they're plated. And we even have a little bit of juice kind of that has come off in the pan, so we can roll those around, give them a nice moist look. Now, one of the things you got to do, of course, before you serve it, is you got to cut the twine off. Make sure all that gets pushed off. So before you serve, you can plate this whole, and that's nice, and let your family enjoy it. For me, I think I'm going to try to get some nice juicy chunks out here because I am not hungry enough to eat an entire one of these, and I actually like to see the goat cheese and the spinach. I'm just going to plate that right there. Open them up, make sure you can see everything inside. Now, what we did with our pan over here is while we had this in the oven, we deglazed it with a little bit of broth and a little bit of red wine sauce. We have a great tip on how to do that right over on the tips and tricks section right here at inglestable.com. We filtered out all the big chunks, and we have just a nice little glazed sauce we're just going to put right over the top of that chicken. Just a little bit of sauce right there. Clean our plate. And there you have it. Chicken mark with spinach and goat cheese. I want to thank you so much for joining us here at the Ingles Table. Remember, you can find this recipe, videos, photos, and more on the website at inglestable.com. Until next time, I'll see you online.